Hi, this is Jim Lumley. Welcome to the Sunday History Rewind. Today I'm in the historic city of Berlin, Germany, and that is the Brandenburg Gate, where both John F. Kennedy and Ronald Reagan gave iconic speeches many years ago. And today on the Sunday History Rewind, we're going to talk a little bit about the history of Berlin during the Cold War, and we'll feature excerpts from those two historic speeches from JFK and Ronald Reagan. Coming up today on the Sunday History Rewind. Berlin, the capital and largest city in Germany, is an impressive metropolis of culture, education, architecture, and a population of 3.7 million. But this free market federal republic was once a divided municipality plagued by the scourge of tyranny. With the defeat of Nazi Germany and the end of World War II in Europe in 1945, the Allied powers of Great Britain, France, the Soviet Union, and the United States divided Germany into 4 occupational zones, the result of the Potsdam Agreement. The city of Berlin, which served as the seat of the Allied Control Commission, was divided into 4 sectors, with each nation attempting to reshape and rebuild Germany into their own version of governance. The 3 Western-style democracies, U.S., Britain, and France, eventually became one per the Marshall Plan. The other sector, East Germany, was communist. In 1949, the Soviet section in the East was renamed the GDR, German Democratic Republic, which remained under the influence of the Soviet Communist Party dictatorship. The West sector operated as a free market-oriented democracy. The political goal in Soviet-dominated East Germany was communism, a society without class in which all citizens were equal, no pursuit of profit, no private ownership, everything belonged to everyone. This was the dream of Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels. Socialism was merely a transitional phase. East German residents were told the path to communism would be long and difficult. Citizens would have to be patient. By the 1950s, when the communist dream was not living up to its promise, East Germans began to move to the more prosperous West Germany. That did not please Soviet dictator Joseph Stalin, who ordered a barbed-wired fence erected between East and West sectors of Berlin. Berlin became the epicenter for struggling East Germans wanting to escape life in the GDR. When the barbed wire fences didn't work, new Soviet President Nikita Khrushchev ordered a concrete wall built in 1961. The wall included guard towers with armed German soldiers equipped with automatic machine guns to keep East Germans from escaping. Soviet propaganda said the wall was only there to protect its citizens from those fascists in the West attempting to keep them from building the communist dream. President John F. Kennedy made a foreign policy misstep when he announced the U.S. would not oppose the building of the wall. JFK, who later admitted his mistake to the New York Times, came to Berlin in 1963 to offer support to the German people.
There are many people in the world who really don't understand, or say they don't, what is the great issue between the free world and the communist world. Let them come to Berlin. There are some who say that communism is the wave of the future. Let them come to Berlin. And there are some who say in Europe and elsewhere we can work with the communists. Let them come to Berlin. And there are even a few who say that it's true that communism is an evil system, but it permits us to make economic progress. Lass sie nach Berlin kommen. Let them come to Berlin. Freedom has many difficulties, and democracy is not perfect. But we have never had to put a wall up to keep our people in, to prevent them from leaving us. While the wall is the most obvious and vivid demonstration of the failures of the communist system. For all the world to see, we take no satisfaction in it, for it is, as your mayor has said, an offense not only against history, but an offense against humanity. All free men, wherever they may live, are citizens of Berlin. And therefore, as a free man, I take pride in the words, Ich bin ein Berliner.
Thank you. 24 years ago, President John F. Kennedy visited Berlin. And speaking to the people of this city and the world at the City Hall, well, since then, 2 other presidents have come, each in his turn, to Berlin. And today, I myself make my second visit to your city. We come to Berlin, we American presidents, because it's our duty to speak in this place of freedom. But I must confess, we're drawn here by other things as well, by the feeling of history in this city. Our gathering today is being broadcast throughout Western Europe and North America. I understand that it is being seen and heard as well in the East. To those listening throughout Eastern Europe, I extend my warmest greetings and the goodwill of the American people. To those listening in East Berlin, a special word. Although I cannot be with you, I address my remarks to you just as surely as to those standing here before me. For I join you, as I join your fellow countrymen in the West, in this firm, this unalterable belief, es gibt nur ein Berlin. Behind me stands a wall that encircles the free sectors of this city, part of a vast system of barriers that divides the entire continent of Europe. From the Baltic south, those barriers cut across Germany in a gash of barbed wire, concrete, dog runs, and guard towers. Still an instrument to impose upon ordinary men and women the will of a totalitarian state. Yet it is here in Berlin where the wall emerges most clearly. Here, cutting across your city, where the news photo and the television screen have imprinted this brutal division of a continent upon the mind of the world. Standing before the Brandenburg Gate, every man is a German, separated from his fellow men. Every man is a Berliner, forced to look upon a scar. President von Weizsäcker has said the German question is open as long as the Brandenburg Gate is closed. Today I say, as long as this gate is closed, as long as this scar of a wall is permitted to stand, it is not the German question alone that remains open, but the question of freedom for all mankind. From 1950 to 1960 alone, the standard of living in West Germany and Berlin doubled. Where 4 decades ago there was rubble, today in West Berlin there is the greatest industrial output of any city in Germany. Busy office blocks, fine homes and apartments, proud avenues and the spreading lawns of parkland. Where a city's culture seemed to have been destroyed, today there are 2 great universities, orchestras and an opera, countless theaters and museums. Where there was want, today there's abundance, food, clothing, automobiles, the wonderful goods of the Kudamm. From devastation, from utter ruin, you Berliners have in freedom rebuilt a city that once again ranks as one of the greatest on earth. In the 1950s, Khrushchev predicted, "We will bury you." But in the West today, we see a free world that has achieved a level of prosperity and well-being unprecedented in all human history. In the communist world, we see failure, technological backwardness, declining standards of health. There is one sign the Soviets can make that would be unmistakable, that would advance dramatically the cause of freedom and peace. General Secretary Gorbachev, if you seek peace, if you seek prosperity for the Soviet Union and Eastern Europe, if you seek liberalization, come here to this gate. Mr. Gorbachev, open this gate. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Vladimir Lenin mocked the German spirit and once joked that the German people would only storm a railway station if they had first bought a platform ticket. But in the fall of 1989, a German revolution began. On September 4th, young demonstrators gathered in front of the Leipzig, shouting, "Down with the Stasi." The calls for democracy echoed throughout all of Berlin. The Berlin Wall fell on the 9th of November, 1989. This is Jim Lumley for the Sunday History Rewind.